But either way, here we go on some nice outdoor shots of the mask. The straps are leather straps with a buckle in the back, similar to how they did the in-movie version of the prop. And surprisingly, I'm back doing another Jason X hockey mask. I had another one. So I had already had another one resin printed out and decided, you know what, it's sitting there. I'm getting frustrated with a different mask. Let me work on this one and see if I can improve what I've already done with my previous mask. You can see it at the front of the screen. I've got a couple of reference photos that I'm going off of for some of the scratching and some of the damage. I'm trying to be more deliberate on this mask since it was going to be a hopefully better version of the one that I'd already did. But then again, that is what mask making is all about, and doing this as a hobby and creative outlet is improving the skills you have. You know, getting better at the paint work, getting better at the scratching and damage, getting better with just the overall wear and tear and doing the straps and this and that. You know, just improving is what you want to be doing. You don't want to, you know, put out something and then that's the best you'll ever do at it. You know, you want to keep going and improving how you do it or finding a better way to do it the way you already do it. The Jason X hockey mask is probably my favorite hockey mask out of all of them. I'm starting to grow on the Jason Universe mask as more of a concept, really. I think over time they'll probably do a much better job at designing that mask where it'll have better damage, better paint work, and it'll overall probably look like a better mask by the time it gets a new movie. So right now I'm pretty much doing what I did in the last one, where I laid down the burnt umber and yellow ochre over it in splotchy areas just to give it sort of a yellowish look while also making it look dirty. One of the important things you always want to do is just doing the clear coats over your paint, just so that you don't rub it off accidentally, which is unfortunately something that I do in this video, but you know, you fix it and you move on. Here's something I'm doing a little bit differently. I decided to try and using a pewter gray on the mask to try to simulate a little bit more worn dirt instead of just the dark brown. Putting it in the little crevices and wiping away over the high spots will give it a little bit more of a dirty look than the last one. The last one just had dark brown dirt and, you know, that burnt umber colored dirt instead of a variant in the dirt colors. And after I went over the dirt, the new gray dirt, I decided to add some more of the yellow ochre. And unfortunately, inside of the eye right there, I kind of messed up and pulled paint off, which is not what you want to do. It doesn't look too bad on camera, but in person, I very much kept looking at it and getting mad at it, so I kept trying to cover it up, and it just kept peeling off in that area. So I tried turning it into just damage, and that really didn't work. So over the next little bit, I just try to fix it, and eventually I do fix it, which is the important part. You know, looking at it compared to the actual movie screen used prop, I think it looks pretty good. I think it's coming along. Although I think I'm going a little overboard now that I'm looking at it, but you know, that's one of the things you need to learn. You need to learn when to stop, when to continue. Right here, I'm just deciding on what belt I want to use, and I end up not going with this one and going with a darker black, just because the last one had a brown, so I decided to do black this time. Here I'm doing the chevron, which unfortunately I'm using a flamingo red, which is apparently very runny for some reason. I don't know why it is, but I added some burnt umber to it to kind of dirty up the red and make it more, I don't know how to describe the color. It's a darker red. So I'm just stippling it on, letting that dry, blowing on it so it dries faster, and then just brushing over that so that I get a little bit of a gradient in the thickness on it before eventually taking it off, cleaning up the edges a little, scraping around to add some more top layer scratches. Because that's one thing you want to do. You don't want to just have dirt all over it. You want to have scratches, then you go for dirt, then you do more scratches and more dirt, and it just layers the whole thing together. That's what you want on these masks. You want layers and layers of detail. Right now I'm just adding some final deep scratches and re-scratching over the dirt and final clear coat before I go ahead and start working on the straps. I do think about using the Part 8 straps that I bought, but they're just not the thickness I'm looking for. They're not as wide as I would like them to be, so I just forego that altogether. Now, one of the most important parts of making these masks is improving your skills over time. As you do them more, you're going to get better at doing them. You're going to find new things you can do while painting them that improves the quality. This was the one I did in my Jason X build video. And this is one that I have for the update video. And as you can see, there's a lot more detail. There's a lot more grunge, a lot more layering. And that's an important thing to do. As you do this more, you'll know more how to layer, which colors to layer first, which ones to layer after, how to fix issues and mistakes. But as you can see, there's a lot more layering. This is a lot lighter on the dirt. This one's a little bit heavier, but it's heavier in specific areas so that it doesn't take away from the overall feel of the mask, you know? You know, the dirt, the layering, using new colors. This one is just burnt umber and yellow ochre. This one is burnt umber, yellow ochre, and a gray pewter. So the gray on top in some of the cracks, it makes it more muted for the cracks and more aged looking. But that's, you know, the importance of improving your craft.